Hello, fight fans. Welcome to Possible Lost Cigars. And like I always say, if you're new to the channel, click the like and subscribe button right now, man. So, as you can see right here, look at the title of this video from Blue Low Sports TV, the Underwater Fanboy channel. Definitely, you know that. He says, breaking news. Wow, Anthony Joshua mobbed and questioned in Africa. Why don't you represent Africa? First of all, that title is wrong. And it is a very ignorant title. You can, I mean, looking at this guy, Blue Low Sports TV, being a black American or whatever, called himself, you know, he should know better. A guy that is pro-black, for me, I'm not pro-black, I'm not pro-edit, I'm pro-Nigerian. So it's different being pro-Nigerian than being pro-black. Because I believe that every human being is the same, has the same quality. But some people tend to get more recognition than the others. For example, Americans tend to want to be ahead of everyone, but yet they don't know shit about the world and how the world functions. America cannot, a lot of Americans that I know cannot even actually tell you 15 countries in Africa without making a mistake, without trying to sound ignorant, without trying to say, they can say, I've heard someone tell me that Lagos is a country of its own in Africa. Lagos? Are you crazy? Lagos is a state in Nigeria. No. Lagos is a country of its own in Africa. And also they tend to think that Africa is one usual like jungle, where no one has water, running waters, you know, where there's no electricity, where people live in the hut. So this Blue Low Sports TV guy, you know, a member of the ADBC, should know better for a guy that says it's pro-black, you know, or for a guy that does things that way. A guy who is very proud to be black or whatever. For me, I'm just proud of a Nigerian. You know, everybody knows that. Because he's a proud Nigerian. I don't believe in being pro that, pro this, other than being pro where you from. No. So he said that Joshua has never actually represented Nigeria. You know, because Joshua got asked the question. I should have posted a video, by the way. But I might do that. I have to couple all the videos up, you know, patch them together. There's lots of video coming daily from Joshua in Nigeria, and he's having a good damn time there. And I'm very glad the champ is enjoying the time there. And we're gonna see him fight there soon, hopefully, man. So the girl has Joshua. Why do you represent Britain and not Nigeria? one of the let's say team member, is he a team member or just a guy that escorted Joshua there, you know, received Joshua at the airport, you know, maybe one of those guys, because I've not seen him before. So he wanted to divert a question, you know, and said, next question please. Joshua laughed, you know, awesomely, and answered a little girl's question, saying that, listen, my parents are from Nigeria. They were born in Nigeria, bred in Nigeria, and when they were 25 years old, they moved to the UK, and I was born in the UK. You know, Joshua just kept it low key there, you know what I mean? Listen, this guy, Blue Low Sports TV, he's trying to question Joshua's loyalty to Nigeria. You cannot even question Joshua's loyalty to Nigeria, because you, first of all, are not Nigerian. You are not Nigerian. And secondly, you don't even know where you're from. Okay? You just see yourself, that's why you call yourself a black person, because you don't know where you're from. You don't know what tribe you're from in Africa. And the African continent is very huge. You don't know where you're from. you don't want to identify with Africa, because I've not seen Blue Bloods Plus TV want to go to Africa, any African country. I've not seen the NDBC say, okay, now the NDBC, as pro-black as they are, I follow all of them. I follow all channels. Even some racist channels, I follow them just to listen to what they have to say, just to hear what they have to say, because I'm a guy who is very optimistic. So this NDBC group, or whatever it is, they have never said, okay, let's go to Africa and do some things there and see the people there. Nah. Just tell them about Africa. These guys would be scared of their life. Deontay Wilder, who has about 32% Nigerian name, has never ever said, okay, let me go to one of the African countries or Nigeria, because he called himself Nigerian boy. Okay, I'm not saying this. Deontay Wilder called himself that. Okay, he said it. It's not like I'm just making things up now. I'm not making anything up. Deontay Wilder said it. So Deontay Wilder has never said, okay, let me go to Nigeria, where my roots are from, or where I think my roots are from, just to do some research, embrace the culture and other stuff. They've never been there. In fact, these guys might be one of those guys that called Africans, names, or people from Nigeria names, calling them African Buddhist squash or something like that, because they think in their low-minded, in their low-minded brain, okay, they think that Africa is one hell big of a country, and if you ask them to kind of mention or tell you how many countries there are in Africa, they would not know it. And these people tend to say they are civilized. A Nigerian kid, a 13-year-old Nigerian kid, in fact, let's say 10, okay, I was already 9 years old. I think I was already 9 to 8 years old when I knew modern 150 countries in the world. And at that point, I did not actually learn it in school. I went to school, but I didn't learn it there. I used my own brain. I did my own research, because I was very, very focused in learning stuff, because it was very important for my dad. But my dad wanted me to be intellectually endowed, because he told me, he said, listen, if you're intellectually endowed, okay, he said, Bill Gates did not acquire the best degree to make it. He used this mindset. He inspired himself. So I inspired myself when I was young. Okay. You understand? So just to, get in stride, because you've got to be civilized. Being civilized is not about living in a first-class country. No. Being civilized is more than that. It's more than just that, because anybody can live in a first-class country and be ignorant as well. Just like the president of the United States, Donald Trump, is ignorant. Some people are saying it's racism or something like that. I don't think the guy is racist. I don't think it's racist. Yes, there are some stuff that come out of his mouth calling countries shadows, but I don't think it's racist. Okay, but he's very ignorant. That is a typical ignorant American. Okay. So I think that you know better. Africa, number one, is not a country, and Joshua cannot represent Africa. Joshua can only represent country. Yes, he's an African guy as well. He's from the African continent, but you've got to mention the country. When you call me African, I don't get angry, because I know I'm from the continent. I'm proud of it. But I'll first tell you, listen, I'm Nigerian first. I'm from the Great Benin Empire, the descendant of the Gisos, the king of skies, if you understand what that means. And then I'm Nigerian, and then I'm African. Nigerian first, then African. Because Africa is a country. Africa is so huge, so large, that a lot of people don't even know, some countries there. You've never even heard of it. I do because I actually travel a lot, and also I learned a lot in school about geography and other stuff. So BBC tend to know stuff about that. And this guy saying that why Joshua don't really represent the I don't know if I can play this stuff a little bit just to let me see if we can play it in. It will be a long video, I guess, but I will do it, man.
You'll get his team, Eddie Hearn, and people around him that try to override and try to dismiss it and push it to the side, but he always pushes them to the side. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So former unified British heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua traveled back to the motherland of Africa. We know that he always talks about his heritage and him being from Nigeria, both his parents.
Yeah, he got his right. He got his right. Okay, he got his right. Let's continue.
He was absolutely mobbed by the crowd, right? He was getting a lot of love. And then he did a question and answering, a Q&A session where he sat down. He allowed the people in the crowd to ask him questions where he answered their questions. Well, a few of the people in the crowd, including a young queen, a young lady, she asked him, she says, why do you
a young queen interested
fight for the UK?
But who is those? Okay.
Instead of fighting for Africa and representing Africa.
And that is where he got it wrong. Instead of fighting for Africa is a continent, like I've said before. So, and Joshua does represent Africa, okay, in his own way, but he's a Nigerian, okay, a British Nigerian, not a British African. Now, there's no British African. There's no, because Great Britain is a country. United Kingdom is a country, or Great Britain. Nigeria is a country, so you can either say British Nigerian, not British African. That does not make sense. You understand what I mean?
Where Anthony Joshua started laughing, he said, "Did you hear that?" And one of his guys on his team tried to dismiss the question, tried to override it. Anthony Joshua then said, no, I'm going to answer it. She asked a two-part question. She also asked him, how old was he when he started boxing? So he said, Anthony Joshua, and this is one thing I like about Anthony Joshua, right? When he's put on the spot and things of that nature, you'll get his team, Eddie Hearn, and people around him that try to override and try to dismiss it and push it to the side. But he always pushes them to the side and addresses what's being asked. Whether you like how he addressed it, whether you like how he answered or not, he still does it, right? I remember when I was at the press conference and I was trying to ask him a question, and Eddie Hearn was like, oh, no. And Anthony Joshua said, no, stop. I can answer his question. And I wasn't the only person. Also, Eddie Hearn tried to say, oh, that's it, it's over. And Anthony Joshua said, I don't have nothing to do. I got plenty of time. Let's keep going, right? So he does that. So when the guy on his team tried to dismiss the young lady, and this young woman couldn't have been no more than, I want to say, between the age of 12 and 14, right? And the guy on his team says, no. We're going to go to the next question. So Anthony Joshua said, no, I'm going to answer the question. And then Anthony Joshua proceeded to tell her and give a backstory about how his family, his parents were born in Nigeria. They then moved to the UK. Then this is how it began, where he represents the UK, right? So he gave her a backstory, but the people over there, they absolutely showed him nothing but love, right? He got a lot of love, tons of love. Crowd was mobbing him and everything, right? They had to, it took him a while to make his way through the crowd, and they were chanting, it was a beautiful sight, right? And so with that said, the people still had the question to why you represent the UK and not represent us, especially when you have Africa tattooed on your arm, and you claim to represent the motherland.
Listen, Joshua has Africa tattoo on his helm, and then a Nigerian geographical landscape. The Nigerian geographical landscape outlined in it as well. That should tell you that he's a Nigerian guy. Okay, he has Africa tattooed on his arm, and then on the inside you see a Nigerian geographical landscape in it. So you should have actually stated that, because, like I said, the guy don't actually know much about Africa, the map of Africa, and so he tends to talk ignorant sometimes. And we know Blue Blood Sports TV is actually a Joshua hater. We know that already. We know, but this time around he's trying to divert something, because since you see Joshua got mobbed, okay, so Joshua got mobbed, in Lagos, and the strip to Lagos, saying Joshua getting on the love. He's trying to divert something. But we continue, guys.
You love to tell people that you're from Nigeria. You're Nigerian, right? Your parents are both from there, right? But why do you not represent us when you step through the ropes like every other person represents their country, right? We see Mexicans that's born here in the States.
As we got it wrong, because this guy literally has not been paying attention. You see, this is why I say this guy is an ignorant guy. Okay, he does not want to learn, and he tends to think he knows it all. Joshua represents Nigeria. Okay, he represents Nigeria in every of his fights, and it has always been like that. If you look at when Joshua fought Ruiz Jr., you saw a Nigerian map there. You saw a British map one side, Nigerian map one side. Joshua represents both countries. That's just the fact. I mean, you've got to know this. It's not even had to know. So I wonder why Blue Blood Sports TV talks this way. Talks like an ignorant, typical American rich man. Even Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates, as rich as he is, still knows more about Nigeria than those guys, man. It's just that, and that is really crazy. It's really crazy. Because Bill Gates has been to Nigeria, he's been there, and he's also friends with Aliko Dangote, the richest black man in the universe. So it's crazy, guys. It's just crazy. Like, the hate is real for the unified king of the universe, man. The hate is real. Even after losing to Andrews Jr., this guy still want to find something negative to say about a guy, man. It's just pathetic, I must say. Pathetic. Okay.
They will wear multi-colored trunks. One side of the trunks would be American flag, the other side would be Mexican flag, right? We see fighters like Mikey Garcia wears the Mexican colors, right? Although I believe Mikey Garcia was born here in the States, so he's Mexican American, right? But they still represent, although they're not there.
You said, although I believe Mikey Garcia was born here in the States. Of course he was born in the States, so he's Mexican American. Yes, he's Mexican American, just like Joshua is British Nigerian. So you have to understand that. This is what you fail to understand. Blue Blood, Big Head TV. Go. If you love your culture so much, if you love blackness so much, like you guys tend to portray, right? Then you should have done research. In fact, I believe 10-year-old boy from Germany might know more about Africa than you, and that's sad. Okay, that is sad, man. That is sad. I've seen an 11-year-old boy tell me the history of Nigeria, the history of Africa, every stuff, man. A 10-year-old German boy, and you, a grown-ass man, don't even know shit about it. It's just crazy, bro. Sad to see. Maybe this is hate or whatever. I don't know. People are saying it's hatred. I don't think it's hatred. I think just the guy being ignorant. Yeah, he does hate Joshua, that's for sure. But This time it's just ignorant.
There. Although they don't reside there, they still represent their country. You see guys like Erislandy Lara, right? Guillermo Rigondeaux, Luis King Kong Ortiz, right? They still represent their homeland. 1000%. Oscar De La Hoya received a lot of backlash for not being able to speak Spanish properly and things of that nature, right? Mexicans didn't even.
Okay. You know what's funny about this? You know, he said Oscar De La Hoya got a lot of backlash not being able to speak Spanish frequently. Listen, Spanish is not a Mexican language. These guys don't really know more Spanish. Okay, the Spaniards are from Spain. They're Europeans. It's just like Nigeria. Okay, for example, Great Britain, okay, came to our land and colonized us. They colonized Nigeria. You know, Nigeria official language is English now. And I think it is the best thing that happened to the country. Why I'm saying that? Because Nigeria is a diverse country. Okay, a country where there are like 200 or something languages. Okay, 200 plus languages. So I from Benin City, if I were to meet someone from maybe from Sokoto, I wouldn't be able to communicate with him if not for English, because I don't speak a language. He don't speak my language. He don't want to learn my language. I wouldn't want to learn his language. You know, like, because where I come from, we have lots of pride because we know our history very well, know where we come from. The Benin people, very proud. So the Hausa people are very proud as well. Yoruba people are very proud as well. All of them are proud people. So English, you know, made things easier because now we can kind of communicate. Yes, listen, there's also Pidgin English as well. You know, a slang, which if I speak it, a lot of you guys, we don't understand it. Some of you guys won't understand it. If you're from Nigeria, Ghana, even if you're a Ghana, if I start, you know, communicating with a Nigerian with deep Pidgin English, not the mainstream one, a deep one, the street one, a Ghanaian would understand that. All the Nigerian would understand that. If you're from the south side, like me, you understand that as well. You know, so you made them very, like, that's also very wrong as well, you know. So oh my god, that's supposed to.
They didn't want to acknowledge him. They didn't want to accept him. He forced them to accept him because he was great, Oscar De La Hoya was. But still, with that said, he still represented his country in Mexico, right? Anthony Joshua solely represents the UK. You never see him with African colors when he stepped through the ring. You never see him with the African flag or the red, black, and green flag or any of those things.
Bro, there is no African flag. There is no African flag. You know? So you have to listen. Are these people in America really that dumb or what? Or is it just, are they really dumb, or it's just like they don't give a fuck about this? You know, it's crazy because if you are known as the greatest country on the planet, according to what Donald Trump says, at least you should be able to know how the world function. Where, like, there's nothing like African flag. The black, green, red, or something like that, you know, is a pro black something flag like that, and I don't really represent that in my home. If you come to my home, you see Nigeria flag there. Nigeria is what I represent. Nigeria is my country. Africa is my continent. It's two different stuff, bro. You will not tell a Bosnian, okay, like for example, a Bosnian, even though they are in the continent of Europe, they don't get the same treatment like guys from Germany or from the UK or from France. They don't get it. Or guys from Kosovo. People from Kosovo don't get the same treatment like guys from Germany or whatever. people from Slavic countries like Poland, Ukraine, Russia, those guys don't get the same treatment like that. You know what I mean? Like guys, but like people from Germany or Denmark, Sweden, all those guys will get. They don't get it. You just have to understand that. There's no, like, in Europe, you have a European Union flag. Okay, I can understand that, but in Africa it's like that. Even though we have African Union, there is no official flag for it. And so it's very different, very different. Africa is definitely bigger than Europe and definitely more diverse than any continent in the world, man. You have to understand that. The most diverse continent ever.
Things, right? You only see them represent the UK. British colors, right? So that's a great question by the young queen to say, why don't you represent us when you step through those ropes? And you have us tattooed on your arm, your right shoulder. You don't have the UK tattooed on your shoulder. You have the motherland tattooed on your shoulder. So why don't you represent us when the world is watching? Why don't you speak highly of us when the world is watching? Why don't you wear us proudly?
And Joshua does speak highly of Nigerians, okay? I mean, Joshua, listen, I've said what I have to say before, but I feel I have to repeat it again and again and again. We're supposed to be Africa is a continent, not a country, okay? So when you talk about us, what are you talking about? Because Joshua represents Nigeria. Okay, he wanted to represent Nigeria back in 2008 and he got rejected because they say he came late, okay? Joshua also schooled in Nigeria. He went to a boarding school in Nigeria, in Lagos. You understand? Joshua is not just a random guy who lived in the UK and never been to Nigeria now. Yeah, the last time he was in Nigeria was when he was 6 years old, like that. If it's in Nigeria, right? So, but he did went to boarding school in Nigeria. So, if you know Joshua, if you know the history of Joshua, the story of the guy, you'll understand better. Maybe your hatred for the man has actually blinded you not to see the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
When the world is watching, right? See, I did a press a speaking with Dr. Umar Johnson, and I asked him. I said, "How come we see these athletes with millions of dollars?" And I'm going to be dropping this video, millions of dollars and $100 million contracts, $200 million contracts, $100 million Nike deals and things of that nature, right? But you never see these guys give back. And he simply answered, they're afraid. I remember when Anthony Joshua, he had a little bit of controversy, right? When he got into a spat with Eddie Chambers. And he put out there that the black race is the superior race. And Eddie Chambers put it out to the world. Anthony Joshua then backtracked and said that he was hacked. When in all reality, I don't believe he was hacked. I believe he spoke what he believed in his heart. But he didn't want the backlash. And so he backtracked and said that his account was hacked. That wasn't him. But Eddie Chambers said, no, indeed it was him. So
I'm glad that he brought up this topic about Joshua Eddie Chambers saga. Listen, Eddie Chambers is nothing but an agent of the DEVIL. Okay, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say the word, but you know what I mean by that. Eddie Chambers, okay, he's nothing but really a jealous guy who wanted to bring the Unified Way King of the Universe down. Okay, he wanted to tarnish his Mr. Perfect image, even though Joshua has said in the past he's not perfect. He's a human being. but the Chambers wanted to bring the champ down and couldn't. Okay, so let's remember that, bro. Let's remember that.
Another thing that Dr. Umar told me, he said, you know what it is that they're afraid to lose what they have. They're afraid to lose their status. And I agree. It's a question that I want to ask Anthony Joshua myself. Why don't you represent Africa? Why don't you wear African colors when you step through the ring? If both your parents were born in Africa and you yourself was born there and brought to the UK indeed, why don't you represent your country? Why don't you represent where you from? Because you best believe if Mikey Garcia, both his parents were born in Mexico, and he was born in Mexico and he was brought to the States, you best believe he's going to represent Mexico. You best believe Vasyl Lomachenko is going to represent the...
Well, Joshua was not born in Nigeria. He was born in the UK. He grew up partly in Nigeria. That's two different stuff, bro. I mean, how many times would I have to tell this guy that he's acting very ignorant? Very ignorant. Why don't he represent Africa? Africa is not a country. Blue Big Sports TV. Africa is not a country, okay? It is a continent. It's different. I'm a Nigerian, okay? I'm a Nigerian. When you ask me, I'll say Nigeria. Okay, Africa is one hell of a big continent. So you cannot just say I'm from Africa. Like some of you guys will say I'm from that. Listen, if you're an African American, I can understand that. Because a lot of you guys came from different countries in Africa, you know, different regions, different corners of Africa. So I can understand that. But a person who has parents who were born in the continent, those parents come from a country. Okay, they could be from Congo, Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, wherever they may be from. It's a country. You have to visit there to really know the difference, because if you keep living in America, having fun, doing those stuff like that, you know, learning stuff from the media, you would never know shit about Africa. You've got to go there and see for yourself. It's nice to actually go there and see and learn. Okay, learn, because my dad always told me that, listen, BBC, traveling is part of education. Traveling is part of education. And I believe that someone like Blue Blood Sports TV need a little bit of traveling to really know what the world is all about. Since most Americans don't really know. They live in their whole bubble.
The Ukraine. You best believe Manny Pacquiao is going to represent the Philippines. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a great question. Why doesn't Anthony Joshua represent Africa when he steps through the ropes? Why don't he fight for the motherland? That he so exposes to the world on his shoulder, the tattoo of the motherland. Why don't he represent it? It's a great question. And like Dr. Umar Johnson said, it's fair. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like.
World. Let me stop it right there, man. I think Blue Blood Sports TV, like I said before, needs some traveling. Yeah, we know the guy. He's a hater of Anthony Joshua. But I think he low-key likes Joshua. Okay, he low-key likes Joshua. I can tell from the way he talk. Sometimes he goes full ignorant when it comes to Joshua Wilder saga, but now that is over for now. And he low-key, all Wilder fanboys like Joshua. They wish Wilder can be like Joshua. They wish Wilder could get the same reception Joshua is getting right now. While Wilder, if he goes to Nigeria right now, I think he might get a similar reception. Why I say that? Because Wilder is a guy who has stated in the past that he loves Nigeria, and if he goes there right now, he will get some reception. But not everybody is going to warm up to him, because a lot of people don't know him. In Nigeria, when he goes there now, only people who are hardcore boxing fans will know who he is. You know, or some people that knew him through Joshua. Okay, if people follow boxing a lot, they would know Wilder, you know, through Joshua, because during that that time when Wilder talked about fighting Joshua and other stuff, you know, he actually went everywhere. Like, people were scared and all the stuff, like making shit up. But anyway, guys, I mean, my final thoughts for this, my final thoughts to this videos that, listen, Liberal Sports TV is just acting like an ignorant American. Okay, he needs to do, that's number one. Number two, he needs to learn more about, learn the difference between city, listen, between village, town, city, state, country, and continent. If you don't know that, you may never learn, as how it is. And number three, he needs to actually travel more. Okay, travel more. Travel more. Now wow. Like the video, guys. Comment below, share, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Go follow me on Instagram at Boxing Blog Center. Follow me on Twitter at Boxing Blog, and on Facebook at Boxing Blog Center, guys. Stay blessed, stay hungry, stay humble. Cheers.